Steve Windels! Thank you, James. Great to be here. Where are my Joe Rogan fans at? Where are my Joe Rogan fans at? That's good, because I don't have a joke. I just like to know if I can use big words or not, so. But I'm a wildlife biologist by profession, and my handle on social media is the Beaver Doctor. And the main reason I picked that is because muskrat gynecologist 69 was already taken. So. But I am an actual doctor, although when I got my PhD, my mom was not quite as excited as I thought she would be. I said, "Mom, aren't you proud of me? I'm a doctor." She said, "Well, not the kind that helps people." I said, "Mom, but I work with beavers every day." She said, "Hey, you keep that dirty talk out of the house, mister." Are there any actual doctors here, by the way? No, that's good, because Whitney was probably going to ask you for a Percocet, so that's good. We don't have any real doctors here. But she meant the helpful kind, right? Doctors are supposed to have a good bedside manner to help patients through their tough times, be kind and supportive. You know, they're going to say, "Hey, Greg, you have stage 19 chlamydia, but we're going to get through this together," right? It's a thing, look it up. So, and they expect the same thing from me, a wildlife doctor. They'll bring me a baby raccoon with a nasty broken leg, right? And they'll want me to say, "Hey, little guy, I'm going to take him in, I'm going to put a cast on his leg, and then I'm going to find him, or take him to a rehab center and find him a surrogate mom, and she's going to raise him up to be the best baby raccoon he can be. Maybe he'll be raccoon president someday." Because he's a boy, and only boys can be president, right up top. Woo! No, nothing, okay. But I can't do that. I know too much. Nature is cruel, and I can't lie. So tell him the truth. Well, that infection's pretty bad, so he's probably going to be dead by morning. Raccoons are scavengers, so his real mom's going to come back, and she's going to eat his corpse, because she's low on calcium and winter's coming. And she's probably going to drag his body back to the den, because she's got 14 other baby raccoons who need the calories. So, unless you want to watch me do this, you might want to turn around while I wring his neck. Ta-da! Right? Problem solved. Hey, I'm a doctor, you guys. You tightened up. I'm a doctor. It's okay. I'm a doctor. Maybe I have something I can teach the real medical profession. Us wildlife doctors, right? Make healthcare better for all of us, you know? Instead of saying, "Hey, we know Grandpa's really sick, but we're going to do everything we can to get him to his 94th birthday next week." What they should say is, "Unless you want to watch me do this, you might want to turn around while I wring his neck." Ta-da! Problem solved, right? You guys didn't like the euthanasia joke, I guess. I don't know, maybe J.D. Vance pulled that move on the Pope last week too, you know what I mean? Like, ta-da! Could be. My girlfriend has a tiny little dog. It's a tiny little dog, one of those poosy shits or shitsy poos or whatever they are, right? It's got a tiny little walnut-sized brain and it is dumb. But she doesn't like me to say that, so we've agreed that her dog is not dumb. It's just not as smart as every other dog that has ever existed. Okay? And she was outside the other day in an eagle flower, and she said, "Oh my God, that eagle's going to come and take away my tiny dog. You're a wildlife biologist. What can I do to keep that from happening?" And I said, "Well, I don't know, trade it in for a horse?" But I do call myself the Beaver Doctor. It's because I study beavers. In fact, I've tagged so many beavers, I'm basically the Wilt Chamberlain of wildlife. Maybe younger people. The Nick Cannon of wildlife? I don't know. Where do I have to keep going on the social reference here? I'm not sure. So, do you want to know why beavers are associated with female anatomy? Why the word is? I don't even know why I asked you that. I'm going to tell you that regardless. This is how comedy works. It's kind of a one-way thing. Okay. So 200 years ago, when a prostitute would get body lice, she'd have to shave off her pubic hair to get rid of it. But if you were bald back then, that meant you were diseased. So what they would do is they'd get a little triangular piece of beaver fur, and they would glue it to their crotch. This is true. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up, right? I told this joke in Canada last week, and they're like, "Yes, of course, we know. This is first grade curriculum." What are you going to get to the jokes, funny man? Okay? Okay, so they glue this little piece of fur to their crotch, right? As the French would say, "Et tout est for your poussée." In London, it's "a French for your minge." Maybe in the South, "a furry rug for your ladybug." I don't know. Do I need to keep going? We get the hint here? Okay, you guys are with me on that one. You're with me on that one. Okay, but gluing it to the crotch, that may seem extreme. Have you ever met anybody with a toupee before? They kind of shift around a little bit, you know what I mean? Imagine a prostitute wearing some sexy underwear and the thing starts sliding down one leg. It's not good for business. Got to keep it in place. That's why prostitutes didn't used to go to the beach. It was too windy, okay? All right, so these coochie wigs. These coochie wigs are called merkins, M-E-R-K-I-N-S. That's not like Americans, not like Americans, merkins, okay? Merkins. And I'm sure you have some questions like I do, okay? Beaver fur is some of the softest and silkiest fur in the animal kingdom. That's why we killed millions of them to send overseas to make hats and coats and things like that. I don't know if you've seen human pubic hair. I hope you've seen your own at least, but soft and silky is not how I normally describe it. You know, I'm imagining one of these clients with a hooker wearing a merkin, he's not going to be like, oh, your pubic hair is so soft and silky. Do you condition? Is that Pantene I smell? No, he's going to say, why is there a dead animal glued to your crotch? So if the goal is to fool your clients into thinking you're disease-free, why not pick a species of animal that's more similar, you know? Like a Labradoodle. Or if you're Italian, a wire-haired terrier. By the way, a merkin made out of rabbit fur is called a hairpiece. That's H-A-R-E for you Rogan fans out there. Okay, that's all the time I got for you folks. You've been great. Have a good night.